There are many factors that affect the value of land, and there are three primary methods of land valuation: the sales comparison approach, the income approach, and the cost approach. Before diving into the methods of land valuation, it's important to understand which factors affect land values. These factors include property size, topography, buildable acreage, utilities, road access, market trends, environmental considerations, whether or not you own the mineral rights, and most importantly, location. The larger a property, the more it is worth. Larger properties also attract more potential buyer groups like investors and developers. Topography and usable acreage are other important factors that affect what your land is worth because this affects whether or not the land can be developed. For example, if the land is located in a flood zone or a wetland, or if there is an easement, this limits what can be done with the land, restricting its value. Utilities such as electricity, water access, natural gas, and septic systems are another factor that affects the value of land, but this depends on what potential buyers plan to do with the property. For example, buyers looking to build a new home may pay more for properties that have existing utility access, because adding utilities to a vacant property can be very costly and time-consuming. Road access is also important for determining the value of land. If potential buyers can access your property easily, this can increase the value of your land by the thousands. Market trends also have a significant impact on land value. For example, if there's a surge in demand for commercial spaces in a specific area, the land's value in that region will likely see an uptick. Sometimes, timing is everything. Similar to market trends is available inventory. Is your property one of a kind, or are there hundreds of others exactly like it on the market right now? If there are many other properties listed like yours on the market, it'll be harder to sell your property at a premium price. Environmental factors such as contamination and soil types also affect the value of land. There are thousands of potentially contaminated sites throughout the country, such as those near abandoned oil and gas wells or underground tanks, which can decrease the value of land without proper remediation. Factors such as soil type and bedrock also play a role in the environmental factors that affect land value. Some soil types aren't suitable for construction or development, which can result in restricted land values. Another potential value point is the property's mineral rights, which aren't always automatically transferred with the surface rights. Mineral rights apply to everything beneath the surface. If your land is situated in a place with coal, natural gas, or oil, you may be able to lease or sell your property at a higher price. Last, but certainly not least, is location. Location is everything in real estate, and it is a primary determinant of land value. Be sure to consider things like proximity to amenities in cities, because properties near amenities in cities tend to fetch higher prices than plots that are further away. There are three main methods of land valuation: the sales comparison approach, the income approach, and the cost approach. The first and most commonly used method of land valuation is the sales comparison approach. The sales comparison method involves analyzing recent sales of similar properties in your area. This data is generally available on online land listing sites. If you're not having much luck finding it, then speaking with a local real estate agent that specializes in land sales can be helpful. The second method to determine the value of land is the income approach. The income approach involves analyzing the property's income potential and comparing it to similar local properties. This method is primarily used for properties that are generating income, such as rental properties or commercial buildings. For properties that are undeveloped or vacant, the sales comparison approach is recommended. The third method to determine the value of land is the cost approach, which involves analyzing the cost of building a similar property on the land and then subtracting the depreciation of the property. This method is useful for estimating the value of undeveloped land or for properties where there is no recent sales data or income history to analyze. The best way to get the most value from your property is to create competition by getting as many eyes on it as possible. It's also helpful to determine the highest and best use for your property so that you can properly market it to those potential buyers. If you are interested in leasing or selling your land, you can get more eyes on your property by listing it on various online marketplaces to expose it to a variety of potential buyer groups. LandGate's marketplace is a great start. Listing is completely free with no obligations to accept any offers.